Our reporter there, Jeff Parrish. And my guest in London is Paul Watson. Sylvania Waters was his idea. He was the principal executive producer of the series in a co-production with the ABC. Now, he's no stranger to controversies almost like this one. As we said, he first made a programme such as this in Britain 18 years ago and subsequently repeated the exercise in America. Now, Paul Watson, might I ask you this? Do you actually take any notice of your critics?
Of course I do.
Well, did your first film, The Family, not meet exactly the same sort of furore that this film has met, and did the second film in America meet exactly the same furore as this, and yet you're still doing exactly the same things 18 years later?
I'm making films about family groups. I'm making films about family relationships because it's the most important unit that we live with in this world. The furore over the family in England was such that it was very similar to the furore that's been going on in your press in Australia. However, when we showed the film series 10 years later, we had an awful lot of people writing in and apologizing and saying, actually, this family had a number of elements and a number of ideas and an honesty, which was something that they hadn't themselves come to terms with. I think if Nolene had been more honest to herself and not been swayed by a press looking for other things than her well-being, she would be in a rather different position right now.
But this is precisely what happened with the American programme, wasn't it? The people who took part in it liked it in the first place. When they saw the press reaction, they then thought, my God, what have we done? We've exposed ourselves to people who think we're dreadful. And this is what has happened, as I understand it, in all three of the films you've made, that the people who have taken part in those films have come out of it thinking, what a terrible decision it was for them to go into it in the first place. Now, yet well, you continue to do.
Firstly, let me just put you on right on one thing. I didn't make the American Family series. I made films about families in America. But you're referring to the Loud family, and I didn't produce that.
But it is your style of film, is it not?
Yes, but I have my criticisms of it. The Wilkins family did not break up as a result of our making this series. It was many years later that the husband and wife decided that they would leave each other. Partly, of course, because during that intense observational period, they were asking themselves questions about their actions, and they saw themselves in portraits on television, and it required of them a great deal of thinking. And when they finally came to terms with what they saw of themselves, they decided actually they weren't compatible with each other, and that was many years later. Margaret Wilkins will, to this day, claim that we did not break the family.
Do you accept, though, that you may harm the families that you focus on? That's certainly the accusation that has been levelled against you and is now being levelled against you by Nolene Donahoe.
Well, portraiture is a very difficult art. Sir Winston Churchill did not like the Graham Sutherland painting. He was lucky. He was able to get hold of it, buy it, and burn it. Now, it's a pity when people burn things. I hear in your introduction that they're going to try and burn the film tonight. The last time I heard of any major burning of any cultural things was when the Nazis had a go in Germany. It does seem to me to be a very short-sighted way of trying to put away something that might have some truths in it, that might have some areas in it which are really about interrelationships in a family group that might be worth taking note of.
But it symbolises what they think you've done to their lives, doesn't it? If they dislike the programme and the experience.
I don't think so.
Well, why else do you think they're burning it?
I think you'll find there are several newspaper reporters that there are several newspapers there probably with exclusive contracts for photographs, and they will be paying for those photographs, and it's another newspaper stunt.
But you're not surely suggesting that the dislike that Nolene Donahoe and some of the other people who have crossed your path express is all to do with creating a story for the press, are you? You surely wouldn't deny that they do genuinely feel that they've made the most awful mistake, letting your cameras into the house.
I wouldn't deny. I would not agree with that at all. Let's look at the process of getting the cameras into the house. We don't live in a totalitarian society where I can march into anybody's house and just say, you will be filmed by me. There were many, many weeks and months of preparation in the Wilkins family. There was a whole series of discussions and meetings with Nolene and Laurie. You find a family, You believe they have elements in their future life, and you're crystal ball gazing at this time, that when those things happen, when development goes on in their lives, they will be relevant to an audience. They will be the sorts of issues that other people have happening in their lives. And you say to yourself, under our gaze, will certain things happen? We knew birth was going to happen. We thought marriage might happen. We knew that there were underlying tensions in the family. We knew that there were problems about whether people should get married or not get married. We knew about stepchildren and foster and step parents, a whole set of issues. We knew about parts of the family being poorer than other parts of the family. We knew about people who had made it and acquired materialistic elements that symbolized their success. We knew that Paul and Dione didn't have those. We knew there were areas of dissent between them. All those elements are natural and known to many, many families. By showing them, we've told Nolene and Laurie nothing more or less than they knew about themselves. What we've actually done is revealed to their friends, those people who silently go along with whatever Nolene and Laurie are, but like them for various reasons, their weaknesses as well as their strengths, have revealed that maybe their friends are like that. So when the press and the friends start saying, you shouldn't have done that, they start to think about it. I bet you, I did a film, for instance, called The Fishing Party.
Well, look, hold on a moment, hold on. You've had a long say there. I accept a lot of what you say. Did you, however, when you went into the Donagher's house, did you say to them, look, this could be a really terrible experience for you. On past experience, the people I've worked with have ended up hating the things that I have done and have thought that it was a terrible mistake to let me in. I should really warn you of this because you probably don't understand what you're getting yourself in for. Now, that is basically what Nolene Donagher is now saying. So what sort of caveats did you give to them? What sort of warnings did you give to them? Because I suspect you didn't give very many at all.
Well, that's nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Well, what did you tell
yourself, them? Well, Paul, even you yourself now are repeating things which you yourself created, and it's now going into the history as the facts. You know, I did not, have not said to you that people regret going into my films or into their lives. I didn't say that. You suggested.
Well, that is surely the evidence of the Wilkins family. It's surely the evidence of the Donagher family, isn't it?
Absolutely not. It's a whole circus that people get involved in. We are, and the filmmakers I work with and the films I try to make are serious looks at contemporary life and the natural problems and the pluses in them. Life is a bitch at the moment, and it's difficult, and the struggles are there, and we wanted to show all that. I'd never said that I've destroyed people's homes. What I have said is you will see things in your films which you do not want to see. There'll be warts and all. That's a phrase. I did not say I destroyed a family, because we didn't destroy a family in